For this practice exercise, we are going to write a static method. So public static called isSorted, and it's going to accept an array of doubles. So this should be double, and we'll just call this ARR still. Pretty different instead of integers as its parameter, and returns true. So it's going to be a public static boolean. Return true if the list is in sorted order, or false otherwise. And this is just for this array. So we're gonna have to go through every element and compare the two. So in this for loop, we are going to want to run this as long as our arbitrary value a is less than, if I can actually code it down, is less than the ARR dot length. That way we run through every single variable. We'll just increase this every single time, a plus plus, and we can go inside of this for loop. So all we're gonna want to do is compare our current value to the next value. And we are going to want to do this for the entire length of the array, but we should stop before we hit the last one, because if we're comparing the current value to the next value, well, we'll get an out of bounds if we hit the very end. So we'll just do -1. We'll do if our current element, so a, right, so like this, if the element at this is less than our ARR at our next element. So we'll see if we can just do a plus plus. We might have to change this value because it may interfere with the workings of this, or we might just take this out. If we compare these two values right here, then we can stay true. So if these two are equal to each other, then we'll say true. Now, a good way to do this is, we know that if this is not true, so if our current value is greater than this next value, we can immediately just return false. And this is the best way to do it, because if we check this every single time the other way, we don't want to return anything. We're not actually doing anything, because we have to check all of the values in there. So that's why we usually do a return false in a check like this. Now, if we go through this and we never return false, we're just going to return true. So let's submit this and see how it goes. So we've passed 2 out of 5 tests. Not incredibly bad, but let's take a look at this. So let's look at this first one. Our isSorted, our expected return is false, but it returned true for some reason. We have 16.1 and then 12.1. and then 22.2, and then 14.4. So this one's really all over the place. I'm not 100% sure why it returned false. It seems like it returns true on all of them. We're going to have to make a new variable here. So we'll just call this b++. And what we'll do here is we'll make an int b is equal to 1 right here. So it's going to be 1 more than this every single time. So let's submit this and try that out. And that passes 5 out of 5 tests. So that's just an important, you can go back and rewatch why this was an issue, but again, this was an important issue that we solved right here. We can't have a++ in here because the actual ++ happens after this code runs, after this line is done. So we're at the very beginning, we're comparing the element at index 0 to the element at index 1. And then the next one, when we increment a here, this will be element at index 1 compared to the element at index 2 because of this ++ from the previous round. So that's how we would do this exercise 7.4 isSorted.